Hey y'all, I'm on here to do a collective energy update. There has been a massive shift within the collective. I'm sure many of you have experienced this already. Some of you are in the midst of coming out through the other side of this shift. So if you have not yet experienced this shift, know that it is coming for you, okay? So I had 3 different decks out. Now I stuck to the Mermaid Tarot as the main deck, but in all 3 decks, I just have to show this to y'all, okay? In all decks, we got, let's see, okay, here we go. Justice, Justice, Justice. Okay. We also if not in all 3, at least 2, the World, okay? So, where to begin here? Let me put this back. This is good, y'all. This is really good. Also, the Wheel of Fortune came out in all 3 decks. I didn't really dabble much in the other 2 decks. I just wanted to do like a couple confirmations, and it was the World, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice. So, what this shift is signifying is the unification of the heart and mind, finally, of the masculine and feminine within, where the 2 are working together in unison. Rather than working against each other, they're working in agreement. They're seeing clearly in the same direction, working together as a team. And as the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. Also, the Moon card came out in all 3 decks, as well as the High Priestess, okay? So we have for a while, in 2023, especially, let's just say over the past 15 years, okay, with Pluto stationing direct, many experienced tough lessons within relationships, and that was kind of like a soul training of coming into that inner unison of the masculine and feminine, unifying the heart and the mind. But for quite some time, there was this energy of being so naive, turning a blind eye to all these falsehoods and deception. So much betrayal has taken place. And this person is just pure and innocent and ready to and eager to experience, yet completely turned a blind eye to the dangers. Wasn't prepared for the journey, meaning the environment one was placing oneself within, connected to individuals that were not in their best interest. Now again, these individuals may have caused a lot of pain, suffering, betrayal, hurt, but they were also their greatest teachers that have push them quite literally into their power. Help them to finally recognize the profound light and power that emanates from within them. These other individuals always recognized your light and your power and how profound and magnetic this power and light within you was. They saw it before you saw it. And that is how they were able to get one over on you, so to speak. That's how they were easily able to manipulate you and deceive you, by convincing you that you did not have the power that you have and that you know you have now. That your light didn't shine as bright as you know it shines now. You may have even been convinced you had no light whatsoever. Most likely you dimmed your light in order to make others comfortable, in order to shrink yourself so you felt a sense of belonging. But you were never meant to belong in these places, in these tiny spaces. You were never meant to fit into any box anyone could stuff you in. All boxes that people have attempted to place you within, you bust straight through that box because you simply don't fit. The capacity of your being is too powerful for these small spaces. And these small conversations, these environments that are suffocating, you rattle the very earth beneath you everywhere you go. You are a walking catalyst, and that makes people uncomfortable. So people see you as a threat because they feel your power before you enter the room. Yet you had no clue that this power even existed. So you were often cast aside, left out, slandered, betrayed, taken advantage of. You have been the black sheep within your family, within every friend group you have ever tried to find some sense of belonging within. Just anywhere and everywhere, you stand out because you are original. You are like no other. And you were never meant to fit in. You were never designed to fit in. You have always been meant to be your multifaceted, multidimensional, unique, weird self, which is unlike any other. The essence that you carry and embody cannot be duplicated. Only you carry that essence. You were chosen to be the very force that created mass destruction in all of these outdated paradigms and environments that were not of the highest truth, that were not of integrity. Many saw you as weak and the underdog, but little did they know that you don't just bark, you also bite. And they may perceive you to be little, but the force that you carry causes tornadoes to rip up everything that has been built upon faulty foundations, falsehoods, deception, corruption. Your light alone exposes so many things and that intimidates others because they're not ready to face these things about themselves, and they damn sure are not ready to change. Because what will everyone else say if they change and they're no longer fitting in with the rest of the crowd? Oh no, they're going to be different. But you reach a place where you're like, I want to be different. I don't want to be like the rest. So you dared to be different. Okay? So through these lessons of turning a blind eye to deception, not listening to the spirit, struggling against your spirit, giving people the benefit of the doubt, feeling within your intuition the real truth, that spiritual discernment speaking loud, and allowing the mindset to say, no, they're a good person because they've done this. They smile at you. They give you nice compliments. But within your body, your nervous system, everything's screaming for you to run in the opposite direction because your intuition is picking up on the truth of the energy, what is beyond the flesh. That is what is important. That is where truth lies. And so you had many lessons over and over and over again until you learn to listen to that spiritual discernment. You don't stick around and find out why something does not feel right for you. You listen and you act accordingly. And now that is how you operate. So congratulations for graduating this lesson. You're finally allowing your inner masculine to honor the voice of your inner feminine warning you. The inner feminine is so attuned to the spiritual realms, to the unseen. And it's up to the inner masculine to honor the inner feminine, to be that safe container and lead in the very direction she is calling him to go in. Because the two are meant to work as a team. So justice has been served. For many of you, you were picking up on something that would be coming to light. Maybe you weren't sure what these hidden truths may be, these secrets, this deception, but you sensed it for quite a while, leading up to Pluto stationing direct. And the sun has revealed what the moon was once hiding. And justice has been served, and it is being served. And it is not up to you to take revenge in your own hands. Okay, no matter who has done you wrong. Because now you have reached this inner marriage, Hieros Gamos. You are whole, you are complete. You're no longer struggling against the spirit. You have decided to answer the judgment call to this higher divine path that's been calling you your entire life. And part of this path was uniting your inner masculine and feminine to work together in harmonious union. And because you have done that, because you are this wise high priestess that sees what most do not see, that looks beyond the flesh, that looks beyond the pretty smile, the nice clothes, the seemingly good deeds others are doing, and you cut straight to the truth. Because if it smells like shit, it's most likely shit, right? And your spiritual senses are at an all-time high. Nothing and no one can pull a wool over your eyes again. So now the wheel is finally turning. You've gotten through all these lessons. All four corners. This also is reminding me of the four elements. Grounding yourself within the element of the earth. Becoming one with the life-giving spirit of water. Igniting the element of fire within you. Your Kundalini life force energy that creates and sends waves out into creation. And you also have quieted the mind so that you could listen to the whispers of spirit through the wind. The wind is spirit. You are all the elements now. You have mastered the lessons of the elements and the gifts that come along with these elements, okay? Okay, so let's get into this. I just had to give that little introductory. So to start off, we immediately have the King of Wands holding his staff of light. He's very focused on the direction he wants to go. The King of Wands knows exactly what he wants, and he's going to go after it. He's not afraid to go after what he knows he's already decided upon. Nothing's going to stop him. He has that confidence, he has that drive, he has that willpower. And who is the King of Wands looking so strongly towards? None other than the Empress, sitting there pretty. And look, she's pregnant with something that she's been creating. And she's been pregnant for a while. She's been pregnant with this new world she's been trying to bring to fruition. I want you to notice how there is that shell in her hand. Those are the types of shells that you can make calls with and also hear the ocean if you put it up to your ear. Keep that in mind because it's going to come back up in just a minute. So in order for this new world to finally be birthed through her, the shit that was not working, the old ways had to crumble. The falsehoods had to go. The bad apples had to be thrown out with the trash. The trash had to be taken out. And you have let these towers crumble. Actually, you reached a point where you had no other choice but to watch these towers crumble. There was nothing you could do to salvage these towers. It wasn't even worth it. It was too much of a burden. So now that these towers have crumbled, lessons of the past 15 years, especially connected to relationships of all forms, romantic, platonic, family, and even more importantly, the relationship with yourself, your inner being, your spiritual essence. your communion with the divine. You've reached this full circle completion, and now you are in this new world, or new earth if you would like to call it. It's in your hands now. You have birthed it. It's no longer waiting. You're no longer waiting. It's now in your hands. Because you understand nobody's coming to save you. Nobody. You are coming to save you. You are creating this. It is up to you and only you. And through that realization alone, there's a lot of throat chakra activations going on, y'all, so I apologize for my throat. Through that realization alone, this is the Devil card. See, she's trapped in a cage, waiting for someone to... She's in distress, waiting for someone to come and save her. But she now knows she is her own savior. She is the reason why she's trapped upside down in this position. Because she knows, or he, whoever you are watching, the ways in which you've been operating, doing things on your own in the physical, not utilizing the other part of you, being your eternal spiritual nature. You no longer can carry on in these ways. That's why you have been stuck for so long with these outdated perceptions and ways of operating. These old ways of being don't work in the new world you have birthed and created and are now standing 2 feet deep within. There's no more of depleting yourself, begging others to see you and recognize your worth. You don't need that validation, and you're not going to find that validation if you seek it in this new world that has now been formed, because you are your source of recognition and validation. Because as long as you do that, and this is the lesson that you've already mastered and you've walked away from, okay? It's only kept you in this never-ending cycle of disappointment. Focusing on things that didn't even deserve your time, energy, and attention because they could not even recognize the profound value you had to offer. And you were so distraught that you couldn't even see that lighthouse in the distance, literally trying to bring you towards that lighthouse and shine a light on these other options that are still standing behind you, that are great, way greater than these 3 little cups that have fallen down, that didn't have much to offer you because they were empty in the first place. So through this repetitive cycle, you had no choice but to recognize the pattern. The one constant in all of these relationship lessons and experiences was you. And that's when you finally heard the call of judgment. All those individuals still trapped in their old ways of being, their old worlds. But look, you've cracked through that old world because you have stumbled upon a brand new understanding. An understanding that grants you the opportunity to truly set yourself free through answering this call. And what is the call? Surrendering fully to this complete death of the old ways of doing, being, thinking, perceiving. Surrendering fully to this rebirth. Allowing yourself permission to fully live freely in this new world, this new earth you have participated in and contributed towards creating for yourself. But that judgment call for you to fully leave that bubble of the old ways that was very limiting required you to make some sacrifices, to walk away from what you know was not good for you, that no longer serves you. Because everything you did and everything you have tried, nothing was successful, because there was something so much grander, so much better, so much bigger waiting for you. You felt that within you. There's so much more for you. A deep desire that wanted to come out and be recognized. So you finally said, screw it. And you left all that nonsense behind. So I said pay attention to that shell, right? So with the judgment call, that call's coming through that shell, which this pretty little empress is holding the same shell. And through surrendering to the death and rebirth of the old world into the new world, you chose to pick up the shell of that desire that's been calling you to be the vessel it is expressed through. And look, you are sending it out into the cosmos, out into the universe, out into creation, so it can come into form, because you were always meant to be the vessel, the body, the bridge that seeded that light so it could be anchored and formed through you. If you were to think of being a medium or a conduit, right? So not only did you answer that judgment call, you also began sending out a very loud signal and call yourself. Okay? And you did this through choosing to start over from scratch, brand new, leaving behind all you once knew, because it no longer makes sense. It no longer works for you. It no longer fuels you. It depletes and drains you. So anything and everything that you come across by walking away and moving forward has got to be better than what you had become so accustomed to. And so being willing to not even know where this is going to lead you, going in a new direction, not knowing what to expect, etc. Not having that mastery yet. You're setting out on a whole new journey of mastering something new, right? That is you walking your talk. That is the masculine showing up and honoring the feminine. There's talking, and then there's backing that talk through walking, leading by example. So here you are, No longer waiting around for anyone to show you the way or come along with you. You're standing in your full independence because you know you can rely upon yourself. You are dependable, and you can always count on you to show up for you. And that's been proven time and time again. That's the greatest lesson you learned over the past 15 years. That's the greatest relationship you built over the past 15 years, was the relationship trust with yourself. So through you stepping into this independence, allowing yourself to consider the fact maybe you don't know anything at all and there's so much more, so many new things for you to learn, because you feel the call that there is so much more, so much better, so much more life waiting for you. Because you're tuning into those desires that have been screaming to get your attention, right? And now they're coming to the surface and you're understanding what that feels like. So you are eager to go innocently with blind faith in that direction to that fulfillment that you feel. Even if that means you got to do it alone. Because this is about you, not others. You've lived a life for others, now you're living a life that is true for you. So through this, you now have your sword of truth. You've cut through the smoky mirrors, and you have gained that clarity. And because you are listening to your emotional needs and desires, and you have the courage to follow them and commit to them, to explore and discover what could even come to be, allowing something to finally come to be by giving yourself a chance, betting on yourself, diving all in. Once again, the wheel's turning now because you chose yourself. That was the lesson. Choosing you. Saying screw what you have to say. I don't care if you think I'm gonna fail. I don't care if you think I'm crazy. I don't care about your opinions of all these negative things that are only meant to make me shrink. I don't care. I'm going to be authentic to me. I'm going to be true to me. And I don't care how other people perceive that. Because I know me. I know thyself. Anything you say cannot trick me into believing otherwise about myself, because I know who I am. Because I've been brave enough to meet myself in the darkest of nights. And now I'm finally seeing the light once again. I'm seeing new life because I know I can trust myself. And I knew it all along. Yes, in the past, others cunningly convinced me, don't trust yourself, listen to me. But now that you're trusting yourself, that light is shining bright on truth. That light is shining bright on resources, on the abundance that you are, the abundance that is around you, the divinity within you. Okay? Which you were in the dark about for so long you could not see that this light you have been seeking was within you the entire time. You were this power. You were this light. All you had to do was connect with it. And then it lights up everything around you. But now that you see the light and you've tapped into your own light and you've taken your light back rightfully from those who have caused you to shrink and stolen your light from you, lots of secrets and deceptions are being revealed without you having to do anything. Because you chose yourself, because you have walked through integrity, because you have been so authentic and pure and with your intent with all individuals you have crossed paths with. Even if they didn't deserve your kindness, you didn't allow them to change your character. Justice. The scales of justice have weighed their verdict, and it's in your favor. All the pain and suffering you've gone through is now over. Those who tried so hard to destroy you, slander you, and work against you no longer have anything they can use to even come close to touching you. God has prepared a table for you in front of your enemies, and they are about to watch you feast on the most profound meal you will ever consume. Because you trusted Spirit, you trusted God, you followed God's word, you followed God's guidance, even when it didn't make sense. You remained steadfast in your faith, and now you're being rewarded. And those who have not walked in integrity, those who have done you wrong, those who have snuck behind your back, who have betrayed you and kept secrets from you, are being exposed. There's nowhere they can run and hide. There's no more places left for them to hide. They have no choice but to even recognize this about themselves. So if they didn't even see what it is they were actually doing because they were that disconnected from self, not self-aware, they have no choice but to see it now. And this is not a good feeling, because now they feel that they have done nothing but cause pain and suffering for themselves through being so dedicated to causing you pain and suffering. What goes around comes around. What you give, you shall surely receive in return. And that is their lesson. So don't waste your time and energy on revenge. Okay. So, male, female, whatever you resonate as, it doesn't matter. You're now the Queen of Swords or the King of Swords. That means you are not only very wise and intelligent, but you have very strong boundaries. You are not a people pleaser anymore. You know how to say no and mean no when it's a no for you. And you also know how to say yes and know what it means to say yes when it's a hell yes for you. And if it's not a hell yes for you, then it's a no. You have such clear discernment now through all these lessons you have traversed through. And that's mainly due to you finally understanding your cup was needing to be filled by you this entire time. It was empty for so long because you spent so much time giving everything to people that couldn't even see you, that didn't want what you had to offer because they underestimated you. They weren't buying what you were selling, and all that did was deplete you. And you finally saw the pattern. You learned the lesson. So what did you do? You began filling your own cup. You decided to stop focusing on everyone else, to stop giving away all of yourself, only to be depleted and left out in the cold. And you began to really focus in on your own cup, studying the source of your passions and truth, your heart space, understanding what your heart has been trying to communicate to you. And a lot was revealed to you. It's like you began to see yourself for the very first time. And when you see yourself for the very first time, you just want to pick yourself up, hold you, squeeze you, and kiss yourself and nurture yourself. So, through you filling your cup and continuously nourishing this cup, first and foremost, before overextending yourself to others, it's like you got the hell out of Dodge. You knew exactly where you needed to exit and where you needed to go. Okay? For many of you, you stopped trying to give away all this juicy, passionate, abundant love you had to offer to somebody that embodies this Knight of Wands energy. So this is an individual that is very in and out, that is very much in it for what they have to gain from whatever it is they're doing or who they are interacting with. And as soon as they get what they want, I'm out. I got what I need. See you later. They're very unreliable, impulsive, reckless. Not a person you can count on. And you saw that clearly. That you were giving your time, energy, and resources in the wrong directions, which was only keeping you stuck. And also in these outdated mentalities of being a victim and powerless, which was simply untrue. So by taking your attention off of these kinds of people, right? Spending some time seeking that truth within, allowing the light within you to lead you forward, even though you had to walk alone. You were never truly alone. in the Spirit. You've been guided every step of the way. You understood that you are required to sit in this strong energy of security and stability, which can only be facilitated from within you. And once you facilitate that security and stability within you, you become this unstoppable magnetic force that draws in anything and everything you could ever need in each moment. And that began to start feeling really good, because you didn't have to worry about how you were going to get this or that or make ends meet, because things were happening so easily for you in good ways. And that allowed you to see, things have always, in one way or another, ended up working out. The difference now is I'm not stressing about it, because my energy, my power is now focused upon what truly matters. I'm nourishing myself. And there's so much recognition because of this. You have so many helpers in the spiritual realms, so many silent admirers cheering you on, so proud of you. You have great rewards coming. You have overcome the toughest cycle of this lifetime yet. Understand that you are now in charge. You are in command. Nobody holds power over you. You're no longer battling yourself. Your mind is no longer opposing your heart. There's no more war within you against the mind and heart. They are now working together as a powerful and unstoppable force. This is the Five of Wands, but look, they all have a fiery staff pointing in the same direction as a team, and that's powerful. They are going to hit their target, and they are going to win wherever they are going with those daggers. As are you, with your heart and your mind together in the same direction, focused upon the same task, goal, and ultimate fulfillment. Because you're now in this space of balance where you understood the importance of maintaining your spiritual garden, your spiritual essence. Not only paying attention to material world details, but balancing out that eternal life force of spirit within you, where all things are created from. Because that's the key to mastering the material world. And you're doing it so beautifully, and you feel it. You feel this freedom, you feel this balance, you feel this newfound inner peace. And nothing can rob you of this. Because you finally understand you've had the strength and power all along to set yourself free. In many, 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 many cycles, you were waiting for someone to come and save you. But you were always meant to save yourself. And you did it. "15 years worth of studying yourself in these patterns, something finally clicked that enabled you to step into the divinity within you, that strength, and go where you've never gone before, to set yourself free in ways you have never experienced before. And boy, did you shock many, many people, because there was a lot of people that didn't believe you would ever be as free as you are today, right now. And that's because you finally cleared your smoky mirror with your sword of truth and began seeing yourself, seeing your reflection clearly. Seeing that you in the mirror are the source that creates that stable foundation and castle you see behind her in the mirror. It's you. It's always been you. It always will be you. You against you, or you working with you. So through this recognition and understanding, it allowed you to finally see you don't need to work so hard for this abundance, to seek these things. You are these things. Look at you. You are that source of abundance. You are lighting up the abundance that you see everywhere because it is you. And through this realization, you're fully harnessing that high priestess energy through the heart space, trusting those divine downloads. The full moon coming up in Leo, I believe it's in Leo, yeah, is going to be so profound, okay? Because this is the full moon where you're finally, I'll get there in a second. You've been in this high priestess energy, getting these intuitive downloads, these visions, co-creating, feeling that this fulfillment of this Ten of Cups, this wish fulfillment is coming. You can feel it. You're sensing it in another dimension. A dimension that is right on top of the dimension you're watching this from right now. Okay? That's how close it is what I'm trying to get at. That's the best way I can put it. And that's because you finally accepted and embraced your inner masculine, divine masculine energy. You started disciplining your mind and your actions. You started choosing, making choices and choosing your battles wisely. Taking responsibility and accountability for your life and what you are experiencing, because you are the creator. It all starts and ends with you. So you have jumped off of these merry-go-rounds that were simply habitual, all you've ever known. All you needed to do was jump right on off and be free. So through understanding what it means to integrate that inner divine masculine energy by being part of the solution, giving back to life rather than what can I get out of life, seeding that life through your thoughts, through your words, through your actions. See, in this card, everyone's working together. This community is thriving because everyone's participating and they're sending out the right frequencies that they later capitalize on. because it's coming from an abundant space, a loving space, a fulfilling space. And since that masculine energy is integrated, he's committed to continue on contributing and being of service, knowing that teamwork makes the dream work, and consistency, commitment, devotion is exactly what reaps rewards and success, what brings forth the vision you had in your mind and in your heart into materialized form. And continuing on by again remaining steadfast in that faith. See, this reminds me of the inner child, and this is the Page of Pentacles. Knowing that you're going to get whatever it is you set out to achieve, that your heart and mind are set upon. The rainbow of promise. Constantly reminding you not to give up, that it is yours. You're almost there. Just a couple more steps and you will see it. You will feel it in the physicality of this dimension. And that is how you turn that 10 of cups that you sensed. Where did it go? So sensing that ultimate fulfillment. You knew what that fulfillment would look like and feel like, taste like, etc. You felt it coming. You felt it was so close. You could feel it, sensing it in another dimension. Through that commitment and consistency, through that unwavering faith and commitment to keep going, now it's arrived. Now it's tangible. It's here. What you knew all along. Where is she? The Queen of Pentacles. She is the abundance. It comes from her. So she must begin seeding it out and allowing it to integrate through her so it can come into her dimension. Okay? Through giving to life. Through consistency and commitment, working together. Through listening to the wisdom of her spiritual helpers, ancestors, guiding her. It's here. It's been delivered. With the Page of Pentacles. It's coming. It's on its way. It's almost here. With the full moon, something's coming. And I cannot make this up. The last two cards we got here. The King of Pentacles. He has it on his hand. The Queen of Pentacles had it on her crown, because she's connected to the higher dimensions, right? And on the Page of Pentacles is a child, the heart space, right? Anything is possible in a child's mind and perception, right? This is reminding me of like the Trinity here. So this is she knew that her vision would come to be. She trusted in it. She took the steps necessary. She listened to her guidance and she held her faith. And now that rainbow of promise is coming, that pinnacle is coming. The King of Pentacles is the one delivering the tangible evidence of that pentacle she knew she would end up receiving, that outcome. Look at there. Ace of Pentacles, that treasure chest. If this resonates with you, something big is about to manifest. You are about to receive a major reward for mastering and graduating basically the pits of hell over the past 15 years, because you finally chose yourself, bet on yourself, and believed in yourself. You are complete, you are whole, you are loved, you are worthy, you are divine. Never forget that.